Welcome back, everyone. Let's go ahead and do a comparison between the iPhone XR and the iPhone 13 Pro and see which one you should pick up. If you want to go ahead and upgrade from a XR to the 12 Pro, should you? Now, I will go ahead and leave them both linked down in the description below so you can buy them from there. You can also help support the channel at the same time. Now, side by side, you can see they almost have the same exact setup going on for the most part. Now, with the iPhone XR, you do have that 6.1-inch IPS panel, and overall, it looked pretty good. Now, you do have a 6.1-inch OLED panel on the iPhone 12 Pro, but it is a 120 Hz panel, so it's a ProMotion panel. It fluctuates from 10 Hz all the way to 120 Hz, so that's a really cool thing. You won't be able to tell over the camera, but it's a really awesome little feature. The notches are a little bit smaller on the 13 series as well. Can't really tell that big of a difference though. And to be honest, I definitely do like both panels. Obviously with the iPhone XR with its IPS panel, it doesn't really come close to the 13 Pro's OLED and high resolution and 120 Hz panel, so this one definitely goes to the 13 Pro. In terms of the thinness and thickness between them, like I said before, you're pretty much almost getting the same type of vibe on both. I will say the 13 Pro feels a little bit thicker, but there's nothing wrong with that. On the back, glass backs on both. You do have that frosted glass back on the iPhone 13 Pro, where the iPhone XR has this glass back, single camera setup here, triple camera setup on the 13 Pro, IP certification on both, wireless charging on both. You do have that MagSafe capability on the 13 Pro, and that really pretty much covers it up. There's not a whole lot else different between them. Now, in terms of longevity, this is another pretty big difference between the two. So the iPhone XR came out in 2018, so it's not the latest and greatest anymore. It was a budget phone kind of when it first came out. So this thing is probably not going to last as long as something like an iPhone 13 Pro, which just came out. This one is that latest and greatest from Apple. So when you look at both of them, even though they look the same, kind of feel the same here and there, the iPhone 13 Pro is going to outlast the iPhone XR by quite a bit of time. And that is a massive thing to keep in mind. If you want to pick up a phone that's going to last you the longest amount of time, at least between the two right now, the iPhone 13 Pro is definitely the better way to go. But the thing to keep in mind is the iPhone XR is still supported for the time being, so you're really not going to notice that big of a difference between them either. So that's a pretty big thing to keep in mind, and that really pretty much covers it up on the outside and the longevity. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both of these devices. Now the iPhone XR has that Apple A12 Bionic chip inside of it with 3 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 13 Pro has that Apple A15 Bionic chip inside of it with 6 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go and see which one is the faster phone between both of those. Okay, there we go. All the apps should be cleared out in the background and not even at all, not even close. So let me go and clear these all out. And the iPhone XR is on the left. The iPhone 13 Pro is on the right. So let's get into it. Let's do phone calls 3, 2, 1. And pretty much the same thing. Music 3, 2, 1. And the iPhone 13 Pro does seem to be a little bit faster there. Hopping out of this one, let's get into their app stores. 3, 2, 1. And of course, we have a network issue on the iPhone 13 Pro. The iPhone XR is probably going to fully load that one up. Let's do camera 3, 2, 1. Pretty much the same thing here too. Calendar 3, 2, 1. And I think the 13 Pro definitely was a faster one. Mail 3, 2, 1. And definitely the iPhone 13 Pro was a faster one there. Hopping out of this one, let's get into news 3, 2, 1. And I think the iPhone 13 Pro would probably have been a faster one there. Let's do clock 3, 2, 1. And a little glitch on the iPhone XR as well. And as always, music 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think we already did this one. Now, as always, we have a bunch of these third-party apps we can go and get into. So let's get into Twitter, 3, 2, 1. And the iPhone 13 Pro, definitely the faster one there. Hopping out of this one. Let's get into Netflix, 3, 2, 1. And of course, we have a network issue on the iPhone 13 Pro again. Hopping out of this one. Let's get into Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. And again, another network issue, but again, it was faster on the iPhone 13 Pro. Thank you, 3, 2, 1. And the iPhone 13 Pro was the faster one here. Gameplay wise, as always, I don't think we're going to see that big of a difference, but still pretty cool. Hopping out of this one, Snake versus Blocks, 3, 2, 1. And the iPhone 13 Pro again is the faster one. Gameplay wise, I don't know if we're going to see that big of a difference again, but pretty much the same exact thing. Hopping out of this one, let's get into Standard Temple Run, 3, 2, 1. And again, we have another network issue here, whatever it is. Hopping out of this one, Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. Now I will just see until it loads up into that Fruit Ninja display, as you can see. And I mean, the 13 Pro is definitely going to win this one. Hopping out of this one, Stack, 3, 2, 1. And you can see the 13 Pro to get into that stack panel, again, was faster. The iPhone 10 are a little bit behind. Gameplay wise, even there, you could see that the iPhone 10R was glitching up a little bit, where the 13 Pro is still going strong. Hopping out of this one, we can go and get into like, Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And you can see the 13 Pro again just going at it. It is the faster phone between these two for sure. And this is pretty much what I've been seeing. I've been seeing that the iPhone 13 series, the biggest starting upgrade, definitely if you have an iPhone 10R, going to a 13 or 13 Pro is definitely going to be a pretty good upgrade without a doubt. I mean, you're definitely going to be getting a smooth performance on the 13 Pro. It's still fairly fast on the iPhone 10R, but I think for sure when it comes down to it, the iPhone 13 Pro is definitely a pretty good upgrade from the iPhone 10R in terms of speed. So hopping out of this one, let's go and hit on the cameras. Now, like I mentioned, triple camera setup on the back of the iPhone 13 Pro. The iPhone 10R has that single wide-angle lens, and both can do 4K at 60 on the back, but the iPhone 10R cannot do 4K at 60 on the front, only 1080p at 60, where the 13 Pro can actually do, 4K at 60. Now, just like the speed, this is another pretty big difference between them. I mean, you're getting two more camera setups on the iPhone 13 Pro. So you're getting that wide angle lens, that ultra wide and telephoto lens, or on the iPhone 13 Pro or the iPhone 10R, you're only getting that wide angle lens, which isn't a problem, but it is not as good of a camera as the iPhone 13 Pro, even though you kind of have the same exact setup, portrait mode, all this good stuff. But you now have the cinematic mode on the iPhone 13 Pro, which is essentially portrait mode video, which is really cool. And I love that. So again, between the two, if you're going to use it, then that's awesome. If not, the iPhone 10R's camera is still pretty good. And I've done so many iPhone 10R camera comparisons since I've owned this phone, and this is still a pretty good camera. Like I mentioned, 4K at 60 on the back, but you don't have 4K at 60 on the front, which is kind of a problem. That could be a problem for some people. I'm somebody, I like having a better front-facing camera, so that is a pretty big thing to keep in mind. And with something like an iPhone 13 Pro, I mean, this is not that bad of a phone either. I mean, this is a very good camera. It's definitely a good upgrade from the iPhone 10R. But like I mentioned, I would rather have something like an iPhone 13 Pro over the iPhone 10R camera without a doubt. So now we make it to the end of the video. And I mean, to be honest, if you have an iPhone 13 Pro, I would recommend keeping it obviously, but if you have an iPhone 10R, and this is a pretty decent upgrade, going from an iPhone 13 to a 13 Pro, you are getting a very good upgraded device. And I will tell you, 10R to the 13 Pro, great upgrade for sure. But the thing to keep in mind is that with the iPhone 10R, it's still pretty good for all the core features for the most part. This still has a lot of things going for it. You have, still a fairly fast phone, and you're getting this phone for a much cheaper value. So keep that in mind. These are not the same price. The 10R is a much cheaper phone, and because of that, it may be a better value. The iPhone 10R is a very good valued phone. You can get it for like less than $400 in a ton of places, and it's a very decent device. The iPhone 13 Pro, though, it is the perfect iPhone. It has a better battery life potentially, has a 120 hertz panel. It's a much more premium feeling. I mean, this thing feels like $1 million phone, to be honest. It feels like a slab of gold. You have the frosted glass back, way better camera setup on the back, better wireless charging potentially, but I don't really even want to talk about it too much. Faster phone, longer longevity of it, and it's just a way better phone overall. So when it comes down to it, I would highly recommend picking up an iPhone 13 Pro over an iPhone 10R without a doubt. So that pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.